Hi, thank you for coming to check out my content. This is going to be another piece of evidence in what I'm calling a multinational space hoax. It's an endeavor to defraud people, not only of the money that's put into the worldwide space programs, but I believe it's primarily to prop up the only piece of evidence we truly have that we live on a spinning ball, which is the image that we received from the space agencies. So I don't believe the image should be taken seriously because they're clearly engaged in fraud. So let me get on with this, do a fair use. The first images, I'm just going to remind everybody of what a normal rocket launch looks like. And then I'm going to go into a recent Russian space launch that was obvious. Obvious it didn't happen the way they said it happened. So let me just go into this real quick. So everybody's seen rocket launches, right? Usually have a nice little countdown, burst of flame at the bottom of the rocket engines, big cloud of exhaust, smoke, whatever, leaving the bottom, and then the rocket's propelled upward, right? So we've all seen this plenty of times. I'm just showing you some different examples so it's clear and fresh in your memory of what an actual rocket launch looks like. Right? Okay, so we got a clear memory, right? So we got an idea. Okay, so this is the launch in question. This is from back in October of 2018. This is supposedly a Soyuz rocket launch by the Russians to the International Space Station. It supposedly had problems in its second stage, and the mission had to be aborted, and 2 cosmonauts were returned to the Earth. Okay, I want you to pay attention. Now, this is the actual footage. You see up in the upper right-hand corner that it's reproduced by NASA, or NASA's involved in it. And this is the actual footage from the space agency. But I'm going to go into space.com and a news report to show that this is, in fact, the actual footage here. But see, in the beginning here, you'll notice this looks like a model rocket at best, or terrible CGI. And then it immediately clips over to an actual rocket launch. And then, of course, right as it's about to exit its arc there, of course, it clicks over to CGI, but it looks like the CGI wasn't aware that they were in fact having rocket programs. They were just running whatever story they had created beforehand. The voices, you can tell a little bit are different, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'll clip over to the other cuts I have, so try to make this as short as possible. But here, enjoy this.
Power on board.
There's the second tower.
Command for ignition, oxygen.
Launch command has been issued. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Engine turbo pump at flight speed. Engines at maximum thrust. Liftoff.
And there is liftoff of the
See any smoke?
MS-10 to the International Space Station carrying Nick.
There. Let's cut to the real one.
to the orbital complex.
Oh my God.
This again is Nick Hague's first time to launch to space and Alexei Ovchinin's second.
One copy. Everything is good on board and we are feeling well. Copy. Burlock 1.
Hearing good first stage performance for the Soyuz, delivering 930,000 pounds of thrust from its 4 boosters and single engine.
How many times do you think they'll say nominal?
Measures 68 feet in length and 24 feet in diameter. It's burning liquid fuel for the first 2 minutes and 6 seconds of flight.
Seconds. 60 seconds into the flight. The pressure in the chamber is nominal.
There's our nominal.
One copy. Everything is well on board. They're feeling well. Thank you. Copy.
Everything proceeding as intended for today's flight. Now just a little over a minute into it. The velocity of the Soyuz is about 1,100 miles per hour.
Notice these guys. Soon they'll be doing over 3,000 miles an hour. Look how their hands are moving around in there. Do they look like they're being pulled back into their seats?
Well, copy.
There will be a little jerk here coming up, but they didn't look like they were being thrust back into their seats at 1,100 miles an hour.
Everything looking good. Proceeding nominally.
There's our little shake.
And we have the escape tower for the Soyuz now jettisoned.
I just want... Ah, there we go. There's our clip to the CGI. Every rocket does it exactly the same way, folks. Let me go ahead and show you these other clips so I can end this. Okay, this is the clip that was put forth, I believe, by RT. I don't really remember. But this is just to show you that their beginning clip was the actual footage, and it'll give you another chance to look at it. You tell me if it looks real or not here.
We're getting from the Russian news agencies.
Also, the way they claim the information is coming from sources.
Emergency during the launch of the Russian Soyuz space rocket. 2 astronauts on board. Now, there was a malfunction. The crew were heading for the International Space Station. Let's just see that rocket blast off.
See, sell it. Let's see it blast off.
After the initial blast off, it seems that there was a failure, an emergency shutdown of the second stage engines. This is being reported on the Russian wires from sources. Fortunately, the crew are alive, and we understand that they will be making an emergency landing in Kazakhstan.
Wait for the breaking news.
Oh, in fact, I'm just being told that it has landed back on Earth, according to Russian state TV. So it would appear, fortunately, a happy ending to that. Both crews certainly live. This is Mission Control in Kazakhstan. Emergency during the launch of the Russian Soyuz space rocket. 2 astronauts on board. Now, there was a malfunction. The crew were heading for the...
Does that look like the rocket launches that you've seen everywhere else?
But
not at all, right?
After the initial blast off, it seems that there was a failure.
Wait, they're going to quote it from sources.
The second stage engines. This is being reported on the Russian wires from sources.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately, the crew are alive, and we understand that they will be making an emergency landing.
Wait for the breaking news.
In Kazakhstan. Oh, in fact, I'm just being told that it has landed back on Earth, according to Russian state TV. So it would appear, fortunately, a happy ending to that.
Here's mission control. Look how tense the situation is. Oh my God.
An emergency landing.
Look how tense they all are.
On Earth. There's some tense moments there for the
yes,
control in Kazakhstan,
tense.
but it does appear that the capsule has.
Oh my God, everybody's at wit's end. One last thing here, folks. This is from space.com, showing October 11th, right? Oh my gosh. Now I wonder how much a fake launch cost. I wonder how much this all cost. You know, what was the intent of it? Was the intent just to show a bogus rocket launch? Look at the bottom of this when it takes off. You tell me.
Liftoff of the Soyuz MS-10.
You see any other rockets take off like that? Look, you see anything happening at all? Okay, I think I proved my point. I invite you to go check out Space Pods. It's about 30 minutes long. If you don't watch the whole thing, you won't get the point, but it's well worth your time. All right? Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day.